we have already established a quorum and we're in open session, so we're gonna start our meeting. At this point, could I have a motion for approval of the agenda, please?
So, a second.
All in favor? Could I have a motion for approval of the consent agenda items, please?
So,
Second, please.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, we have board communications. We have one. R-VII Administration and Board, thank you for the Christmas wishes in the Chamber Bucks. Happy New Year, Lori Sanders. Okay, at this point, we have our finance update, please.
Good evening again.
Come on down, Kat.
Tonight, I just wanted to give you an update on the audit. The finance department has completed all work on the audit. We're currently working with them to finalize the report. We will have Chitwood present the final draft for the board approval once it's completed. And then a bond update. We have, as of the end of November, we have spent, actually at the end of December, we have spent $2,982,333 on completed and paid invoices. This leaves us with a current balance of $4,251,234. And then we currently have approved purchases that have not been paid in the amount of $80,031. And then tonight in your board packet is the fund balance report. Currently, this year's revenues are more than last year's, and the increase in the revenues is from Prop C, delinquent tax payments, as well as the increase of the transportation revenues. Our expenses are also higher than last year, but this year we have known that the difference is from increasing salaries and then the new bond improvements.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, this time we have our academic focus. Daniel, come on down.
well, McQuarrie is lucky tonight to be able to present to you guys. We've got the cutest kid, no matter what, right? So it doesn't matter. So we're going to bring up a few of our friends here that came to share with you tonight. Harris, come on up here, Harris. Casey, come on up here. Adrian, come on up here. So we have some friends here with us tonight, and they're going to share here in just a moment our new positive behavior system that we're started at McQuarrie that came out of our SMART goal. One of our SMART goals this year was we wanted to recognize, basically the whole gist of it was we wanted to recognize students more frequently for positive stuff. Because kids like these guys right here are always doing super awesome things like all the time. And we weren't spending enough time on these guys that were awesome all the time. And so we want to make sure we were recognizing those friends a little bit more often. So we started Bulldog Bucks. I'm going to let these guys start sharing a little bit about, go ahead and pass out the paper. I'll read the goal that we developed. Develop and implement a school-wide positive behavior recognition system by the end of this year that creates an environment where the behaviors are explicitly taught, positively supported, and measured, and used and in place by at least 90% of the staff and received by at least 80% of the kids. So the goal is to have 80% of the kids in the building recognized with a Bulldog Buck, and then 90% of the staff handing a Bulldog Buck to some student. And so I'm going to turn it over to Miss Russell because she's kind of the brainchild behind all of it.
Well, kind of the fun stuff too.
Yeah, the fun stuff.
So this is the fun part. So like Mr. Armstrong said, we have developed these sets of school expectations. We've got our bathroom, our cafeteria in Harris. We've got our hallway. So these are kind of our, and we've got recess. So these are the universal expectations. So, you know, we really wanted to be consistent with the expectations that are taught around the building. So as our little guys are caught following these expectations in the bathroom, in the cafeteria, hallway, recess, staff members may give them a buck. Right,
Harris,
guys?
tell us something about the hallway that you're supposed to do that you might get caught doing something really awesome and get a buck for.
Hips and lips.
Hips and lips in the hallway.
And they might not show, what's hips and lips look like? You want to show them?
One hand on your hip and one hand on your leg, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Casey, what do you got? You got cafeteria. Oh, cafeteria. Casey, what's something we're looking for in the cafeteria?
Eat your own lunch.
Eat your own lunch. You can't be touching anybody else's lunch, right? Hands feeding food to yourself, right? Adrian, you've got bathroom there. That's a hard one sometimes. What's something that we're looking for in the bathroom, Adrian? A voice level 1, which is a whisper voice. 0 is silent, whisper voice 1. 2 is just your regular talking voice. So in the bathroom, in the cafeteria, you want to see just a regular talking voice. Outside, it's a voice level 3. You can be loud as you want to outside, right? Huh?
So we get a buck, and then students deposit their bucks into a mailbox. We've got a mailbox for kindergarten, first and second. And then once a month, Mr. Armstrong and I draw 2 grand prize winners. And those 2 winners, it ends up being 6 winners, get to have Happy Meals with Mr. Armstrong and I. And so these guys, Harris, I think you might have been the last month, right? Were you this month?
He was the first.
He was the first, yeah.
Harris, what'd you order for us? What'd you order? Cheeseburger, chicken nugget, hamburger, cheeseburger. Yeah. Casey, what'd you get? 6-piece chicken nugget.
Yeah.
She was thrilled that I got her the 6-piece chicken nugget. Adrian, what'd you get? Cheeseburger. Yeah. And so then it's another positive relationship thing with us. Tell me something that you see in the cafeteria, Casey. Or Harris, you tell me something you see in the cafeteria now that we've started implementing this. What does it look like in the cafeteria sometimes now? Huh? That's a hard one? How about in the hallway? What are you seeing more of? You're seeing more hips and lips? Yeah. Adrian, is the bathroom cleaner sometimes now? No? I think it is, Adrian. I think it is.
What's the easiest way to earn a buck?
To do good.
Which area? The cafeteria, recess, bathroom, or hallway? Do you think it's easiest to earn a buck, Casey? Do you think at lunch?
Who gives out the most bucks?
Probably. I decided, I'm my own mint, and so I print off as many as I want to. I carry them in my back pocket, and we've given each teacher a big old stack. Mine are kind of special. I put my little logo on here. But and then what's really important when you get this buck, Adrian, you've got to do what? You got to put what on it before you put it in the mailbox. You got to put your first and your last name on it, right? Because if we draw a buck out and it doesn't have a name on it, we don't know whose it is, right? Yeah.
And our teachers who are handing these out put their name on it too. So they get a little prize as well. So it is an incentive for them to keep using the system as well.
So we try and reward kids and teachers both. If they draw one that has my name on it, I don't take all the prizes. I handed a lot of them out. The classroom teacher that the kid in gets the prize as well. And so we've just bought a few little things to incentivize teachers to get to that 90% participation for them as well. But I don't know, the kids say something different. I've seen a huge difference in the cafeteria and the hallways especially. All the time kids are walking in the hallway and I see hips and lips everywhere I go because they're trying to earn a buck. And it's amazing when you hand one out at lunch, how everybody else starts going, I'm gonna put my head down. I'm gonna do something different. And so it's made a big difference. I would say these 3 kids right here are kids, I would say, if we weren't doing this, I don't know that we'd be recognizing them all the time, because Adrian, Casey, and Harris are good all the time. Everywhere they go, parents, you do a great job, but everywhere they go, they're always great kids. And I don't know that we would have been recognizing them on a consistent basis. And that was the whole point of this, is to have a positive behavior system in place where the Harrises, Caseys, and Adrians of the world were getting recognized more often. And I would say, when we pulled all those bucks out of the mailbox, how many were there?
300.
There was a lot. I mean, there was a lot of bucks. So we're catching a lot of kids. I would say if we're not at the 90% or 80% of kids, we'll be there real soon. We'll collect some data here pretty soon on it, but I think we're probably there. And so, what else are we gonna do, Miss Russell? What are we doing with those?
Okay, so finally, we have your certificates, and we will hang these up in the cafeteria so everybody can see you for the rest of the year and know how awesome you are. Okay? And I'm gonna give you these tonight too. So
You get a copy.
you can get a copy.
But Adrian, Casey, and Harris, thank you very much. That's all we've got with our system here. We just wanted to share it with you.
We appreciate you guys coming tonight to our board meeting and being such good role models for the rest of the kids at the elementary. I think
Thank you guys.
they need a hand.
Good job. Thank you. You know, Harris got to wear his fancy dude shoes. Casey's all, he did. Hey dude, Casey's got her fancy socks on and Adrian got to put on some lipstick.
So will you guys answer a couple of questions?
Yes.
Okay, they're not hard, simple questions. So can you only get one buck during the month, or can you get more than one Bulldog buck if you get caught doing good things more than once?
Yes.
How often can that happen? A lot? So, I mean, you guys are the good kids, that's what I'm hearing. You're caught doing good things all the time, so a normal week for you is 5 of these? 3, 2? Is there a normal?
How many do you
How
think
many
you
did
get
you
in a
get
week?
today? Did you get any today? You got 2?
You got 2, 1. Oh, Harris.
Yeah.
How about yesterday? I'm sure yesterday was a better day.
Yes.
I got a ton.
You got what, Casey?
Ton.
A ton?
Probably same yesterday.
Oh, Harris, come on.
I
It was one or two yesterday.
It was
I
one
am
or
very,
two
I am
yesterday,
very
Harris.
glad to hear that. Do you enjoy when your principal or a teacher will recognize you for doing good things? Does that make you feel good inside?
Here and there.
There, yeah. How about the chance? And then my last question, and I'll leave it alone. How much fun was it to eat with the principals here?
So
Was that a good time? Do they eat? I told you that was my last question, I lied. One more question. When they eat, do they chew with their mouth open or not? Do they, and because if they chew with their mouth open, then you should not give them bugs.
We had good manners. It was fun. So, yeah, it is once a month. We've got some other ambitions and plans for this, where we're recognizing maybe even a little bit more, because a month's a long time to have a drawing. There are second place for each one. Our PTO has helped out with that, where they'll help donate some of the items that we give to a second place student. So like this time, the second place student got like sidewalk chalk. So we drew 2 extra out of every grade level's mailbox, and they got sidewalk chalk. I think the first month they got a candy cane with some candy in it. So Casey won that the first time, and then second time she got to eat. So, but we've got some ideas of trying to recognize a little bit more often on some things, and we'll just keep working at it, because we want to recognize students for positive, good stuff.
Fantastic, you guys
Great
keep it
job.
up.
Yeah, great job.
Keep up the good work, especially you, Harris.
That's right. That's right. Good job, guys.
Thank you,
Give
guys.
that to Miss Russell. Will you give that to Miss Russell? Thank you, sir.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
You guys did great. Next one.
Yeah. Yeah, up next, we are going to recognize a student that wasn't able to come.
She's here.
Is she-
Yep. Hunter,
Hunter?
come on up, Hunter. This is Hunter Higginbotham, and she was not able to be with us last month.
Yeah.
when we recognized our other card winner. I know Isla Shippey was the Christmas card winner. Hunter Higginbotham here was our, I think, birthday card designer and winner.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
This is Mr. Young.
She created our birthday card that we send out. If you guys haven't seen it, done an unbelievable good job. We can't tell you how much we appreciate it. And I think we've already,
Yes, we've already given her
Her
gift
card.
certificate and her set of cards. Yep.
okay, and we have this certificate for you that says how much of a good job you've done. Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming.
Good job, Hunter.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Hunter.
Oh, Hunter, you can give that one too.
Yep.
There you go.
She wasn't able to join us last month, so we wanted to make sure to include her. So Hunter, thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. Okay, next up is making a difference.
Yeah, this month we recognized administrative assistant at the middle school, Kathy Dandrin. She was nominated by several staff members. Some of the things that were said, she's one of the most positive and helpful people they've had the pleasure of working with. She always has a smile on her face and goes out of her way to be kind to everyone. Creates a very warm and welcoming climate for the office, for the students, staff, and parents. She does a great job fulfilling many duties and creating a very family-oriented environment in the office. She is a great servant and team player, always lending a helping hand and volunteering to work for several duties that need to be covered for the building. And she wasn't able to join us tonight, but we did recognize her at the building level last week at a staff meeting. And obviously on social media as we've done with the others, but she does a great job, and we did recognize her with a plaque at central office as well that will hang up throughout the year. So congratulations, Ms. Dandrin, and thank you for everything you do.
Up next is our superintendent's report.
Yeah, just a couple things. The administrative reports are in your board packet for your review. And then board candidate filing, update on that. There were 6 individuals who signed up. In order in which they signed up: Brian Young, Adam Bradley, Aaron Dillon, Brandon Steffen, Kelsey Leggett, and Esmariah Post. So there will be election because we've got 3 spots open and 6 candidates. So.
Okay. Up next is our discussion items, our construction update.
Mr. Cost.
Good evening. I'll start with an update on the roofing project. Do you have the graphic? Okay. Let's see, I think I have it in my pocket.
You're familiar with it though.
Yeah, you're kind of familiar. Very one. Be the northeast corner of the high school is always left for roofing. What they're doing right now is they're just finishing up metal work around the rest of the areas where they have roof, flashing, cutting down, flashing around all penetrations, make sure all the roof is sealed and finalized, and then they said they hope Kerberg by the end of the week, if not early next week, is going to get to this portion of the roof. They'll start tearing it off. It's going to be about 6 days to tear it off. And then they'll put the new roof down, and they'll have more metal work to finish up after that. But they're getting close. So that is an update on the roofing. Are there any questions on that?
The only question I had, the leaks, did they get all of them fixed? And
They did, and that most of that was because of the flashing. So they put the new roofing on. They didn't have all the caulking and flashing installed quite yet. So they've really been hustling this last week to get that in. Located all the leaks that I understand except one in a window above here, and they're keeping an eye on it. That is an update on that. And then the summer projects, the renovations, the high school, middle school, and the query, We started getting some submittals in just this last week, some mechanical items and metal framings, longer lead time items. And then we have a meeting scheduled between IDS, Excel, the contractor, and Dr. Fagan and his team in a couple weeks just to go over the schedule, create a game plan, because this summer the window for construction is short. So we want to have a solid game plan. So that's the goal here in the next couple weeks, is just lay out the roadmap for this summer.
There were some, I will say in reference to leaks, they actually brought somebody on site that night and had crews on site to make all the repairs in the days following, and have been very responsive to the issues that we had.
Yeah, that is good. Okay, any other questions at this point?
I did ask Dr. Fagan if he would update the board on our HVAC modernization that we've been going through, that we're using our ESSER funding for, so I'll just kind of let him. Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
Matt did this. I'll listen.
But also as part of the projects was the HVAC separate from those projects. So childcare center, the high school, the ag building have been completely changed over. They're about 60% done with Macquarie and middle school, kind of that changeover on the backside, the updates on the software that they do, and then all the physical items at the middle school and Macquarie will be once school's out, because they have to physically, all those room units at Macquarie, they gotta touch all of them, put items in there, and then same with the middle school on the update of that. So everything's progressing along, and Mike's been in communication with ACS all through the process, making headway.
Any questions? Thank you. Okay, at this point, next up is our 2022 board policy update, our first reading.
Yeah, the policies and procedures are in the packet for you to review this month. We do have a couple that we're recommending for rescind. We'll present those next month for a second reading in the board.
Any questions on the policies at this point? Okay, thank you. Next up is our Special Education Job Olympics.
I've asked Ms. Fagery to come talk to the board about a couple things on the agenda tonight. The first being the Job Olympics that she is heading up and putting together. So, come on down.
Hi, good evening. So with Job Olympics, this is an event that was typically hosted with other school districts within our county. Through COVID, a lot of schools chose to go virtual, and so we had some students participate in that virtually. But now we would like to go back to in-person, and we would like to actually host it. I don't know if that's something that we've ever done before, I don't think so, but what we really want is to be the leader in our county, and kind of just kick off the post-COVID, this is what we want it to look like for our students. So Job Olympics is really just an opportunity for our students with special needs to showcase the job skills that they have. There are a few immediate benefits to this from the get-go from that event. We would ask community members and local business owners to come in and help judge those events. So they may display skills like rolling silverware or being able to host. They're showcasing what they can do and hopefully helping bridge that relationship within our community to allow for future employment for our students, showing that they are employable and here are skills that they could do and the employers can see those in the moment. They can also fill out a resume and prepare for like a mock job interview that they would participate in during Job Olympics whenever they're here. But then looking forward into the future, we can even look at continuing to build that relationship and providing some community-based education with those businesses. So then maybe we could take our students there and have them learn some of the job skills on site with those collaborative partnerships that we're building starting here. So with that, you'll look in the document I believe you have access to. One thing within our county and even Johnson County is we struggle to consistently have support with the same person through both rehab or pre-eds. It's a very high turnover position. So if you go a little bit closer to the city, there are so many more opportunities for our students. So one thing that we would do with this is invite school districts from both Lafayette and Johnson County to participate with us in this Job Olympics. They are willing to help plan and support that as well. But really, we just want to give our students more opportunities to learn job skills in real life, receive feedback, which is also an important part of being an employable adult. And then also think about, okay, how can I build this job into my future? If they have a specific interest, we can look at offering specific skills or showcases that would go into the field of their dreams. And so that's something that we're working on now in the background. But our main goal of hosting, we would call it the Central Missouri Job Olympics, is to increase post-secondary employment success for students with disabilities. Currently, only 55% of 2021 graduates with IEPs are employed. That's looking at state data. So our goal is to raise that percentage to 65. So to be kind of one step ahead of where the state is. That's our target. And we can follow up with our students post-graduation to ensure that they are maintaining a job and help support that as well, which I know has been a goal of DESE. They began talking about that in the last few years. Another goal would to be increase engagement in an inclusive community. So we're working on that as well within our unified partners and our student leadership team. But it's another way of kind of bringing the community into that and into our future dreams of inclusion. And then our final goal is to build a sense of community for students with developmental disabilities in Lafayette and Johnson counties. So building relationships with partner schools will increase opportunities for our students, but also friends. When you think about general education students who participate in basketball or band or other opportunities, they go to that competition and they're like, oh man, I played with you in 8th grade. Our kids would eventually have that same experience. Remember when we were at the Job Olympics a few years ago in 2023? And they're gonna be able to see that a few years from now and remember that face or maybe remember the adult and maintain that connection. We would also incorporate social interaction opportunities into this event, and we have begun dreaming and brainstorming those as well. Anything else?
I think it's an outstanding
Yeah.
idea.
I think you're not only giving promise to the students, but to their families as well. You know, a lot of the parents don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
And you're giving them opportunities to see that there, you know, so many options for their kids. So I love it.
So it's MFA when you're looking for
Yeah.
industry work.
Definitely.
How
We're
exciting.
hoping-
That's very exciting.
We're hoping we can also get some representatives to kind of turn it into almost a transition fair, kind of at the same time. So while students have extra time, they can investigate different opportunities, take information to their parents about pre-eds, voc rehab, the WILS, the independent living camp that Warrensburg offers in the summertime. Just some of those things to just help increase awareness, like you're saying, of opportunities that they do have. And so those are things that hopefully will build those relationships and make them strong so then they're willing to be on site more and help our students. Okay. Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
that's fantastic.
Don't go far.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're at action items. Next up is our Special Education Unified Esports.
Again,
Come on down.
Me again. Okay, so esports, I don't know if you've heard about it, but it's basically like sports for gamers. So I don't know a lot of the lingo, bear with me, but even my own children are very excited about games. And so we did just a quick survey of who would be interested. And with this opportunity, it would be considered unified. So there would be students with an IEP as well as students without an IEP on the same team, working together, discussing teamwork, interacting socially. Our students are increasing, hopefully, their social interaction and their social skills as part of this, while they're also learning gaming skills. So even transition is a huge goal within our department right now, and what is life gonna look like after high school? Whenever you think about the career opportunities that our students are going to have, they say that most of them have not even been created yet because of technology. And so also we're giving our kids opportunities with technology and to learn that, which I think is important too. But basically, the opportunity that we have with Special Olympics is to get us started. We could apply with them and have all of the equipment that we need sponsored by them, so we can just get started. So we could do Mario Kart 8, which if you probably played Mario Kart or seen it, they're like driving and racing and all of those things. So our kids could do that with their unified partner as a team and compete. So they would be competing against other schools from across the country that are also unified whenever we start on the Play versus platform. It's like Play VS, that platform. So for this semester, we could participate in league play. So they would have scheduled matches every single week where they're competing against other schools. After this semester, we could kind of open that up and see where we want to go from there. If in the future for Odessa we decided to have more of like a JV varsity esports team, then they could practice collaboratively at the same time. We have some sponsors in place right now that are ready to hit the ground running if this is the direction that we choose to go for either career ladder hours or even on a voluntary basis at this time. Special Olympics would continue to support us throughout that and through this semester. We can also participate in Rocket League. So Rocket League, I have never played and I don't really know anything about. But what we would do for this semester, just for the exposure, it's called scrims. So for scrimmages, scrims, we can pick the time and the date that we want to participate against other schools. With Special Olympics, as well as some connections that we have, we're also working on helping Higginsville develop a unified esports team and maybe Lexington develop a unified esports team. So then in the future, we could host an esports event here where those kids can come on site. Hopefully kids that are participating in some of the other opportunities. So then again, they have that, hey, I remember you from basketball. I remember you from Job Olympics. And so they can build those connections as well. So that's kind of the dream. Within your document, you should see kind of a timeline of when preseason starts, when league play begins, finals, all of those kind of things. So, any questions?
I know esports is a pretty big deal now. I mean, even
Yeah.
colleges are giving scholarships
Correct.
for students to, get to play at the college level.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great idea. I think it's,
And I like the inclusion
I do
piece.
too. Me too.
Being able to have a special education student with, a mainstream, there's so many.
is there, I know we have like a coding course or something. Is there any way to tie coding in with some sort of, I don't know how the coding works, but I mean, I think it falls within the realm of gaming and, coding games, and that sort of thing. I have a nephew that actually codes for EA Sports, and so
Oh, that's very
it
cool.
would be, I know there's those type of students that have that dream, maybe doing something like that. I didn't know if there was a correlation where we could tie coding in with.
Like game design or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. If that was a possibility in the future, through this.
The guy sitting behind the camera is gonna give you a better answer than I am. Now,
Yeah.
I will say that, is that something that we need to look into as we continue to provide offerings for our students and how those things work together? Yes. But I don't know what that path looks like
Sure,
right
at
now.
this point, yeah.
But yeah.
I think that's my thing, is this opens up an avenue for
It's a
those
progression.
students who are very much interested in this. Well, gosh, I like doing this, so why not make this? And so
Absolutely.
I didn't know if there's a way that, our courses could correlate with, this club or, whatever, so.
We're hoping to utilize at the high school level the Bulldog Block time as like a practice for some of these things that we're starting. So then it's kind of during school time, whenever kids could be receiving intervention, they can have intervention, or we can schedule some practices during those times, just to allow for an opportunity within the day where we don't have to worry about transportation for some of our other students. So we're really excited about that opportunity. And then also we have some students who could very probably be successful in esports. They may not be able to play varsity basketball, but maybe they can start here and then transition from a unified team to more of the competition style team later on and be successful and
Well,
compete.
that's the thing. I know it's not just Mario Kart and,
Right.
there's a whole world of
Correct.
gaming out there that, that these, esports,
Yeah.
teams are in,
Yep.
so.
So we would start unified on this platform with those limitations of those kind of choices. But then eventually we could move to a different platform. If we continue to work with local school districts, then we could compete utilizing other games. But this would kind of allow us to do that. We have from 10 to 12 students right now, special education students who would be interested in this from the get-go. And then we've also surveyed, general education students as well, and very high interest.
I'm looking forward to you coming back very soon saying, we need more.
Yeah,
Um,
me.
Because I really am. And the best part of that was the 10 special Olympic students and 10 unified partners.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The relationships that are gonna get built
right.
there, and just hearing from the buddies that work with our Special Olympians, how much the Special Olympian athletes enjoy that day,
Yeah,
I think sometimes pales in how much of an influence that student has on their buddy
absolutely.
that day, that people are getting to experience things that, hey, I wouldn't have known otherwise, and you know what, I like so-and-so, and I could do this, and I can see myself growing and expanding.
Yeah.
And I see a whole lot of opportunity, things to grow out of this. Fantastic, thank you for running with this.
Excited. We're hoping over time we can have a set of unified partners to pair with our students with special needs, and they can be the same pair throughout all the different opportunities that we hope to bring. So then they can continue to build that relationship, but also from the leadership component. So we're working with Special Olympics Missouri right now, just on our leadership and what that looks like. And so, can I share what I emailed you? Okay.
Absolutely.
So one of our leadership pairs, we received an email today. We had submitted an application for the state. Oh, I just forgot what it's called. The Youth Activation Committee for the state, and our students were chosen to be a part of that.
Fantastic.
So pretty exciting.
Yes.
They have some really big dreams for even after graduation. Here's what we would like to come back and help continue to develop leaders within our school district to really make inclusion part of the normal, part of our culture. And so we're excited
Gaming's
about
one of
it.
those things that that inclusion piece, kids and adults love
Yeah.
games, and that is a way that you can universally connect with somebody else through
Yeah.
something like that.
Absolutely.
And, I think that, especially like I said, with kids, we all know that love games, and so, they're, like Aaron said, that's a very good way that they can connect and find some commonality between each other, and,
Exactly.
I like this too, and then, it's, we can have fun together doing this, so
Yeah.
it's very cool.
On something that's fairly close to that, but not directly tied,
Yeah.
have you had any dealings with the Thrive program there at UCM?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
We're actually just talking to a family about that today.
Okay,
So-
I was gonna say, I happen to be an alumni family from that program,
Okay.
and with the job skills and
Yeah.
this, I think would fit nicely with what's offered there.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure that they would like, especially with just the proximity,
Yeah.
would be a wonderful avenue to get help or whatever support if you needed it.
Yeah. That would be great.
And if so, let me know. I'll get a hold of Mr. Brunkhorst and
Yeah.
help you out.
Yes. Yes.
So just let me know.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Is there, I'm gonna be that guy for just a second.
You're fine.
Is there a fiscal impact to this, and if so, is it budgeted or will we?
Right now, there's not a fiscal impact, or
Okay.
I shouldn't say that. We anticipate right now a minimal fiscal impact.
Okay.
But in the future, and the reason it is an action item is because does it turn into a stipend position?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Is there gonna be equipment that has to be replaced that we have to pay for? Likely. So in the future, but right now, we don't anticipate a fiscal impact. But because looking long-term, because we wanna be able to sustain this, put this as an action item because we could see expense in the future.
Understood. Thank you.
Can't imagine the coach or whoever the leader that's running, but as far as equipment goes, I can't see it being more than basketball or football or any, like, you know.
You
This
make
is-
sure Coach B ponies up for it, not your sped.
The technology,
tell
him
to
Okay.
equipment is very expensive.
Okay.
But that's okay, I don't mind, but that's why I wanna make it an action item, is because when the time comes, future on down the road, it might be 5 years from now when we need to look at new equipment. But I want it to be something the board supported at the time with an action item.
One thing I appreciate really the most that Ms. Fagre has mentioned is what I haven't heard once is let's go win a state title. I've heard let's build relationships and let's have unified partners. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
And then let's win.
Opportunities.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah,
there,
that's-
Can't win.
but if there is a state title,
But yeah, but if we win, that's okay too.
Right, right.
At this
State
point,
leadership.
I need a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
heck yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Ms. Fagre, keep fighting for them kids, all
I
right?
got it.
No, I hope that it's very heartwarming to sit here and listen to all the work you
It
do.
is. It's awesome.
Love your show.
Yes.
Yes. Keep it up.
I-
Hell yeah.
Okay, next up is the music umbrella policy.
Well, I apologize, I'm gonna bring us crashing down from that really great program and presentation, to some insurance, but, again, recommend this year, for additional umbrella policy coverage to our insurance, which affords us an extra $1 million in liability coverage for instances in which there's a cap for music, so that coverage this year, $3,260, for the additional coverage.
That's great news, Roger. Outstanding.
From something we
$3,200.
hope we use every single day,
For a
something we
million.
hope we never use.
Let's bring her back. You're not very good at this.
I'll
Make a
make,
motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve the additional music
Umbrella
umbrella
policy.
I'll
policy.
second it, but I don't.
All in
like
favor?
it. We need to have it, but I don't like it.
Okay,
I like this Fagre stuff better.
at this point, I need a motion to conduct a closed executive session, including any record or vote at the next scheduled meeting pursuant to statutes contained in chapter 610.021, R-VII. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Aye.
Aye.
And aye.